Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, boss told me to deep clean the back and to not come to front for any reason, so I did. You want strict compliance, Mr. Food Service Driver, you get it. Being 1 minute late equals being out for the day, so I'll take the day off. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Boss told me to deep clean the back and to not come to front for any reason, so I did. I'm a 20-year-old male that works at a very popular restaurant in a very snobby area. My main job is to assist the servers in any way I can so they only have to worry about sweet-talking the customers. I do all the heavy lifting for them, whether it's cleaning their tables or taking their drinks and food to their tables. I'm doing it, and all they have to focus on is making the customers laugh. They get tips that range from $17 to $40 per table, while I make $8 an hour and get treated poorly. Enough backstory. Cue the malicious compliance. My manager came up to me in a "I'm better than you" mood and told me to deep clean the floors, ice makers, walls, trash cans, and racks, and to not come to the front for any reason. I'm very annoyed at this because none of those things are my job duties. We have a staff that deals with all the cleaning of the back, so it didn't make any sense to have me do it. These tasks would have taken me an hour and a half max, but I was feeling a bit cheeky and decided to really deep clean the back until it was spotless. About 30 minutes later, the same manager comes up to me and tells me that there are 4 tables that need cleaning and 2 other tables just got sat and I need to bring their drinks to them. I looked at this man with a stare of a 20-year-old that has no bills to pay, and I say, "No, I'm not done cleaning." He looked shocked and responded angrily, "You can finish later, they need help." And I countered with, "No, it's filthy here. We don't want a health inspector to just walk into this filth, do we?" He storms off like a toddler that didn't get their candy. 2 hours go by and I'm on my hands and knees scrubbing as if I was working for Chef Gordon Ramsay himself. The same manager comes back again with a smirk and says, "Wow, this looks like it's going to take you all day long. Maybe you should come to the front and help the servers since there's a huge Sunday rush." I replied with, "You might just be right," and I go back to cleaning. He storms off again. Fast forward to 2 minutes before my shift ends. My knees, legs, and fingers are all aching from cleaning. I shuffle my way to the front where my manager has been waiting for me, and he says, "You finally decided to come help, huh?" And I look at him without saying anything and clocked out, and then I tell him, "Sorry, I'm not clocked in." I walked out to my car while he was blowing my phone up. I didn't care. I had 5 days off back to back, and he can't fire me since I did as he told me to. The moral of the story is, don't think you are better than someone that has nothing to lose. For all the people that have been commenting that he can fire you, yeah, you are right, he could, but he won't do that because I'm the only one that is working the position, and no one has applied to come work at the place for $8 per hour. There are more details to the story than what I told, so instead of trying to be smart, just ask, "Why do you say that?" instead of assuming I'm just some entitled kid who thinks they run the world. Thank you for reading. You want strict compliance, Mr. Food Service Driver, you get it. After undergrad, I moved to Texas to manage with a mostly local chain of Tex-Mex restaurants. At one of my first training stores, I was assigned a month in the kitchen to learn their BOH, back of house, i.e., the kitchen, process. As I grew up in the business and had worked during college for a large casual dining chain, I was familiar and skilled in all of the general aspects of running this type of kitchen. However, it was a good opportunity to learn the particular aspects of this company's operations. After driving from Northeast Dallas to Grapevine early one morning, I greeted the driver, retrieved my clipboard, and started supervising the unload. He worked fast and had the truck unloaded in about 30 minutes or so. I knew I had a good 60 to 90 minutes left organizing, date dotting, rotating, breaking down boxes, etc., and was happy to sign him off so he could get on his way while I continued putting away the order. For reference, this is how I had always done this and never had any problem. As I am working through the delivery, I notice we are short 1 case of 20 CT shrimp. Obviously, that's quite a bit of money. But those types of things happen, and in my experience, the process was to call the vendor promptly and let them know. Most times, they would contact the driver, he'd find it on the truck and bring it later, or they would credit our order. But not this time. This time, the vendor tells me that they have a strict policy about this, and since I'd signed the order, they didn't feel obligated to credit us. I told them that seemed like a bad policy when dealing with a restaurant that was doing around $70,000 a week in sales, this is 1995, and paid promptly. They didn't seem to care. So next week, I again meet the driver on delivery day. Everything was going pretty much the same, except this week, when he handed me the delivery form to sign, I informed him that since we were short last week and his company didn't want to work with us, I wasn't signing anything until I had everything counted, and I couldn't count everything until I worked through the large pile. Since he couldn't leave without getting a signature, he got to stand on our back dock until I was done. I may have been a bit extra thorough counting and organizing that day, because he was fuming when I got back to him about 1.5 hours later with a signed form. I assumed that has made him late enough to miss several deliveries that day, as many restaurants won't accept delivery between 10 and 2 p.m. But I know he was late to several stops because his company called me the next day and said that they couldn't work this way. They quickly agreed that if we cooperated and acted in good faith on future orders, they would return the favor. We received credit for the missing shrimp on our next delivery. Being 1 minute late equals being out for the day, so I'll take the day off. So I worked at this company for 2 years and never had attendance issues brought up, and received 2 promotions in a year. They were training me for another promotion when my boss goes through every time I've ever been even a minute late back from breaks or lunches. Keep in mind, in the last 6 months I had only ever been out sick twice, which, even though I had sick pay, were each considered a strike. Even when I got COVID from being exposed at work, the 2 days I called out were each separate occurrences held against me on my review and bonus. Effectively, it was 5 to 10 minutes all in 1 minute increments, and those 10 minutes were enough for him to write me up and say I will still be training for the promotion, but there is no way in my review in a month I will receive the promotion or pay increase till next review. He even said I was an example employee, excelling in this role, and I can handle more than anyone without being challenged. So because of these few minutes I will have to do the job for this promotion for a year without pay or title, and I'm on right up. I asked him to clarify if that meant each time I was a minute late was as much as a strike as being out sick for the day, and he said yes, it's based on occurrences. Well, one day I was having car issues, and if I were to work from home that day I'd only be a minute or 2 late. He also reprimands having to work from home too much since we're supposed to be in office 4 times a week. If I came in office I'd be at least 20 minutes late. So I decided to call out sick since it's all the same anyways. He also ended up promoting me anyways, after telling me this wasn't possible no matter how perfect my attendance was. So I found a new job and left, giving me an even bigger raise. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.